It is less than a century ago that the concept of universal human rights began to be more widely discussed. The 10th of December 1948 was a landmark in human history. This was the day that the General Assembly of the United Nations adopted the Universal Declaration of Human Rights. It can be considered one of the greatest ethical achievements of humankind. The Declaration recognizes that the inherent dignity and the equal and inalienable rights of all members of the human family is the foundation of freedom, justice, and peace in the world. What people were entitled to used to depend on what social class or strata they were born into. Universal human rights means that your rights, what you can do and cannot do, does not depend on these factors of social privilege. Simply stated, it is enough to be born human. The Declaration's 30 articles include civil and political liberties such as the right to life, to vote, and to freedom of expression, and economic, social, and cultural rights such as an adequate standard of living and just and favorable work conditions. This is the basis of modern international human rights law, which clearly outlines the expectations and claims we have on our governments. Rights call on governments to value people on account of being born human, acknowledging their innate dignity. Rights require governments to value people equally, without discriminating on the basis of ethnicity, religion, gender, sexual orientation, ability, or social class. Rights safeguard people from abuse and unfair and unequal treatment. Rights provide basic conditions to enable people to achieve their potential. Rights ensure opportunity to the poor and disempowered who have no power and no access to power. The Declaration, however, is not hard law. It is not legislative text. But most countries have integrated human rights into their constitution, and human rights legislation is continually evolving. Rule of law is seen as integral to the protection and implementation of rights. All states have ratified at least one of the core human rights treaties. These are some of them. States have obligations and duties under international law to respect, protect, and fulfill human rights. The Universal Declaration of Human Rights is a universal standard that holds governments accountable to all people. The Declaration applies to all of us.